you wanna know? Are you sure you wanna know? Huh? Cause the truth ain't always what it seems to be. Let's get to the truth with SYXX and Soup. It's time to reorganize, rethink and regroup, reanalyze, see through the lies and reboot. Boots on the ground, it's going down for a redo. We gotta get connected, stop accepting what they telling, because what they selling ain't nothing but deception. It's time for the people to run an interception. It's time to understand, togetherness is the weapon. Anything less than that is just half-stepping. Open your third eye, receive this message. Community is unity. That's the blessing. Do you really want to get to the truth? That's the question.
Welcome to SYXX and Soup React.
Yes, I do have a bright pink coat. Coat's a SYXX and Soup. It's a little chilly in the studio today. Cold and snow outside. But let's get to
Soup,
this.
the hitman fart.
This is supposedly ex-mob boss talking to 20 police.
Hopefully you knew that already from the thumbnail.
People like you. It's not a game.
Right.
You're not afraid to deal with us.
Absolutely. A lot of people are.
Why?
A lot of
Afraid to
people
us?
are.
We are an officer.
Dude, I did it again.
Is there corruption?
Then what
Yes.
again?
Is there self-serving people who want to promote? Yes. But for you to say, no, that's not what you're saying.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
What am I saying?
Where's the BS button?
And it's already lit. I don't even need a lighter.
Your oath or you
We're
wouldn't be here.
criminals.
Right.
You can't. We were criminals.
You
You
got-
can't compare
but you-
us to the
you-
Wait,
you
what are
can't
they
compare
doing
us
right
to the
now?
FBI. We were in a lot
It's a
of trouble.
quick preview.
I don't want. I hate
I'm
when
a former
channels
cop
do
regime
that.
in the Colombo family in New
I'm
York.
about to
one of the five
watch
New York
it.
mafia families, and today I'm surrounded by 20 cops. All right, my first surrounded claim is undercover sting operations often manufacture crime.
Lady cop, beat them all.
Beat them in the heels too,
Yeah.
So
because
you
they
believe
eat
that
donuts.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, good call out.
She eats donuts.
She's running heels.
undercover operations create crime.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the word entrapment. So entrapment
Yep.
means that law enforcement officers are inducing a reasonable person who is not predisposed to a crime to commit
It's
a crime.
weird.
Well, what do you mean a reasonable person? Not in my experience.
Go, lady.
The undercover operations were either an undercover law enforcement person or somebody,
This
a
guy-
confidential informant.
is
that
this
was
guy
put into that
really an
situation.
ex-mob boss?
That's not a fine, upstanding person. The undercover agent.
Looks like an
absolutely.
actor.
Okay.
But not that other person.
So I've worked undercover. I've worked undercover in multiple situations.
You're a fine, upstanding
I could be
person.
like-
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I don't know.
And
That's my
looking at it from
opinion.
that perspective, if I was doing a
Don't
prostitution
know.
sting, walking the streets, then
Hey, chick,
people weren't
you said
predisposed
a
to
prostitution
committing crime.
sting.
They could keep driving or keep walking right by me.
Correct.
So the fact that I and my law enforcement agency created an arena for someone to make a decision does not mean that I manufactured crime for them. I did not force them to commit crime. They made that final decision.
I agree with that, and I believe that undercover sting operations are necessary.
Okay.
You know, to catch people that you suspect of being criminals. However, there are situations that I'm very familiar with where they will use another criminal, okay, to go into that, become a confidential informant, and he will help to manufacture a crime by getting people to say things that they wouldn't have ordinarily said, put them in a situation, bring them a criminal activity of some point, and put them into it. So yeah, because they don't know what this other person is doing. I give you an example. Michael Francis, we know he's an organized crime guy. We got our informants told us that, but we haven't been able to catch him in a crime. So let's send somebody in there and see if they can create something to put him involved in. And then we have our crime. That's done.
It is, but sending someone in like a confidential informant, there's also a lot of controls that are on the law enforcement side. So whether that person is wired or there's an infiltration of a law enforcement officer on, as part of the act, they're still not causing crime to be manufactured. It's all being done rightfully by the suspect.
I can't agree with that. I cannot. When you wire up a confidential informant and that informant brings criminal activity to that other person.
What's the red flag mean?
What happened?
Why didn't dudes have red flags?
They want to end it so they can get it. Like they want this to be over.
Oh, she's taking what she
They
taking
don't
too
like
much
what
time.
she's saying. They don't like her approach. Whatever.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Because that's the person that's the subject of the sting operation.
Should I just jump to where
That's
the
entrapment,
big
as far as
spots
I'm
are?
concerned, because that wouldn't have happened if your confidential informant didn't go in and manufacture that crime. They're bringing him the crime. He's part of that criminal activity.
Understood.
And
But
once
if you didn't want to commit that crime, you wouldn't have to. You could walk away. You could be like, you know what? I don't want to do this robbery
That's
tonight.
true.
I don't want to put a, amount of money on someone's head. I can just walk away.
Absolutely, and if you do, you're not entrapped. But if you do it, then you are entrapped. And that's what the confidential informant is supposed to do, entrap you.
I understand what you're saying, but you just made my argument. So if you could walk away from that, and if you walk away from that, it's not entrapment. You're not getting involved in the criminal activity,
That's
where
correct.
if you stay involved in it, you were predisposed to move forward with that crime regardless. So it's not entrapment either.
Well, I disagree with that. I think because it would have never happened if law enforcement didn't put their CI in there to try to entrap that guy, then there would have been no crime.
But if the person they were trying to entrap, let's say it's you, if you were going in with a clean conscience, not wanting to commit crime at all, then it wouldn't matter who they put in there.
I think I
It
get
doesn't
red
matter.
flag. I need
It
a
doesn't
red
matter
flag.
because you're still creating the crime. Law enforcement is creating the crime through their confidential informant. Because it would have never happened if that confidential informant, if he never met him, then there would be no crime.
So the confidential informant comes in saying, I want to do X,
They
Y,
have
Z
to
crime.
go
You can
more
still walk away.
specific.
You can, and then there's no entrapment.
Yeah, so
But
the
there
red
wouldn't have been
flag
anything
on
at
this.
all
not
if your guy
specific.
didn't
Let's do it in the
come.
back
You
there.
didn't
He
have
look-
to
Pause
do
it.
anything, 'cause there wouldn't have been
So
anything
you're
to
saying
refuse.
you would never
They need
commit a
to
crime
do
no matter what
like
it was?
if
Oh, if this
the
fills up.
job
If this fills.
is what?
Sorry, go ahead.
If the job is them creating a crime that's gonna happen anyways, whether you say yes or no, then yeah, you created a crime trying to entrap this one person. Now you created a bank heist trying to get him to be a part of it. He says no, now what? You cancel it, and now all the other people you had to get in on it are gonna be like, what happened?
Better.
Now you have to follow through with the crime. Now the
Yeah.
crime has been made because of police. But if it's not like that, and it's like, hey, me and you just go, let's rob a place. And then they say no, and then no crime gets committed after that, then no, she's right. But the other way, he's
It's muddy
right.
waters either way.
What happened?
The entrapment rule, it's muddy waters either way. But I just noticed.
But what he's saying, there's being a crime being made because of the police. But that could be true in one situation
get a
and not true in another. It
they get a
depends.
CI and then they get the CI to go try buy a kilo. They're making the crime.
Well,
right
that's
there.
small petty shit, though.
Yeah.
I'm thinking they're talking about mob level shit.
Well, no, I just noticed. So when this red flag fills up, they're gonna cut her off. I take it.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
If there wasn't a confidential informant that came in?
But here's what I'm saying. Then get him for that crime. Then the government didn't push that. The
Come on,
government didn't
you
create
put
it.
your-
The government
your
didn't
flag up.
manufacture it.
It's
He
just
did it on his own. You have every
annoying.
right to get him at that point.
The government provided an opportunity, and the person can decide whether or not to take that
That's
opportunity.
correct. That's correct. But let me ask you a question. Here's somebody here. He's broke. He's got no money. No money at all. Never committed a crime in his life. Innocent guy. Okay, can't put food on his table. You don't like that guy. You know what? I don't like him. I don't know what to do. He's not a criminal, but I'm going to send somebody in there and give him some incentive. I'm going to send somebody in there to talk to this guy to tell him, listen, I have this jewelry store that we can rob. Don't worry about it. Inside job. Nobody's going to know anything. Okay, but come with me. We'll do it. Now you can put food on the table. So you created a crime. You manufactured a crime for a guy that never was in trouble in his life.
He may never have been in trouble in his life, but if he wasn't already thinking that he could get away with that crime or commit that crime,
Nah,
he would
she's
say
wrong
that.
on that one.
You can't lock
Yeah,
somebody up
definitely.
for what they think. I may think of committing. I may want to rob Brink's truck, but I'm not
It's
going to do it.
human
Of course.
nature
So
to
you can't-
want
you
an
can't
easy
get mad at me for what I'm
handout
thinking.
type of
But if he
shit.
doesn't move forward with robbing that jewelry store,
But
then there's no
you're not
crime.
understanding. You didn't understand what I said. You didn't like that guy. He wasn't a criminal. You just didn't like him.
Yeah.
But I can't do anything about it. But I'm law enforcement. I have a tool. I have a weapon. I have a CI. I'm going to send him in there. I'm going to bait this guy into committing a crime.
I love that you think there's enough time and staff to be able to screw people over.
In the world of organized crime, okay, they got all the money, all the resources. Let me tell you something. During my time in organized crime, we had 750 made guys.
Police
that comprised
harass
all five
people
families.
every day on the
1,400
pettiest
agents,
traffic
2
stop,
agents to
lady.
every one guy. They
Yeah.
have plenty of time. That's what they get paid for. They have plenty of time, and they put a lot of effort into it, and they put a lot of guys. They destroyed my former life. They have all the time in the world when they want to. I'm not saying you do or anybody else in this room. I'm telling you my experience. And let me tell you something. I had a lot more respect at that time for police. They were doing their job. I understand that. People say to me, Michael, now, you got to hate the police. I said, no, I don't hate the police. I have a wife, I have 5 daughters, I have grandkids. When they walk down the street, I want the police to protect them. I support the police. But I don't support the underhanded stuff that was done and that continues to be done. I'm sorry. I think the defund the police movement is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I'm totally against that. But I'm totally against law enforcement using tactics and weapons to get people that they shouldn't be doing. They have to play by the rules, period, or we have anarchy.
You're right, and they do play by the rules.
No, they don't.
Because providing a criminal
Oh my
opportunity
God.
does not force someone to commit a crime. And if that person is getting lured into the crime because they don't have enough mental fortitude to say no to
She
something,
can't be truthful.
that's not law enforcement.
Because she's a
fault.
cop, she won't say anything bad about cops
But then
ever.
if they move forward,
Yeah.
Get her out of
The
here.
blue
if
wall.
the confidential informant wants them to move forward and
Thin
commit the
blue
crime,
line.
Well, did they manufacture that crime then? Yes or no?
absolutely.
Oh, look at her red flags.
There was no crime.
Get her out of here.
Come on, guys.
And
Somebody.
the person they wanted to arrest could have said no.
Come on. They all have to have
Nothing
their
say
flags
no
up.
to if the government didn't put that crime in front of them. So they manufactured it. There was no crime before that.
We pause. You've been voted out with the majority. Please return.
He's true, even in that situation.
Get out of there.
She said, what took you guys so long? Bitch, get up.
Nice
Oh, let's see.
We're both New York guys. We're adults, right? We make our own decisions.
Correct.
Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say 99.999% of undercover stings aren't just us being like, John Doe, you want to show off shotgun? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not how it is.
I agree.
We already probably have dirt on you in some facet, right?
Oh, you think you do? Yeah.
Either way, sure, fair. All right, fair, fine. So we're going to set up a 20-man team, audio, video, all this stuff just for a random dude.
No.
Right. That's my point.
No, no, but what's the difference? Let's put out a name that everybody knows. Let's say it's John Gotti. We
Sure.
know that John Gotti is the boss of the Gambino family. We'd love to see him in jail.
Okay.
But we don't know what he's doing at this point. So we have to figure it out. So let's get
Sure.
a confidential informant, okay, wire him up or do whatever it is that you do, and put him with John Gotti and try to bait John Gotti into doing something, whatever it might be, so that we can get something on him. Tell me you're not manufacturing that. No,
He's still in the
tell
crime
me-
family. He's still running the mob. Like, it doesn't matter.
Being in the crime
Answer the
family
question.
is not a crime.
Dodged it.
Sure. Yes, I
correct?
understand that. No, for sure.
Okay,
Yeah, but
so-
if you still put a CI in the room with him, he's like, "Hey, boss, you want to commit murder today?" He's gonna be like, "Actually, now we're gonna pass on that." Like,
Okay.
no, he's still gonna do the crimes he's doing. Now we just have an inside guy
you
to
don't-
wire
you-
that up.
But you don't know that. You don't know
That's
that.
the point of the undercover sting. It's part of it.
Exactly, but you're manufacturing that particular crime. You are
He
creating
could say,
that
if he's
crime.
the, so some
Doesn't
no
matter.
one's gonna tell the boss of the Gotti crime, the crime family to say what he's gonna do.
You're not understanding. There still was no crime. You're creating a particular crime by bringing that confidential informant into him and giving him a situation, a criminal situation that you're hoping he bites into. If there was no confidential informant, there's no crime. So you manufactured that
He's not making
situation.
him do anything. he can easily be like, "We're not doing that today."
He can.
Right.
He can say no. But
Whether
I think
he
saying
does it
no
or
is very
not.
easy. He wouldn't have to say no if you didn't manufacture something.
You
for him
said,
to
let's
say
go
no.
rob a bank?
Yes.
What bank?
This is a,
What robbery?
Yeah.
Oh, the one that you just made
The
up?
question
And
is,
talking to me about that? Nobody else ever thought about it, talked about it until
The
just
answer
now?
is yes. You're just agreeing with me because
That's the only way
he's
cops get the
bringing
job
a
done, is
criminal
snitches.
situation to John Gotti that didn't exist before. If another criminal came to me and said, "Michael, let's do this crime together," and I did it, okay, I did it. But if the government sent that guy in there, then the government is
no,
manufacturing
because
that
you
crime.
still have free will, and you could be like, "No."
But
it doesn't matter.
You're right. But
It's my free will to commit the crime, but
didn't make that
we're talking about the
happen.
crime,
You're
not
bringing that crime to
the
the
committing of a
And again, we
crime.
would already have something on you, or think we have something on you.
Think
You're not
that-
sure, no, for sure.
no,
You're not a
think you
random
have
person.
something
That's my
on it.
point.
Doesn't matter if you're random or not.
I want to see him just get up, punch him in his face. I know that won't happen, but we gotta pause this every so often, so I figure I make a comment.
What crime?
What crime?
Everybody has the same rights.
Yeah.
If you're alleged to be a criminal, but you didn't commit a crime, you still have rights as an American citizen.
For sure.
So it doesn't matter what you think, doesn't matter, or what you suppose, doesn't matter. You could say, yeah, John Gotti's doing a million different things. We don't know what they are, but let's get somebody to do something so that we do know what it is. You're manufacturing that crime. It didn't exist before.
No. Pause. You've been voted out. All right, nice meeting you.
Fellow New Yorker, thank you.
That guy got the downs.
Oh, another.
I'm well, how are
Touch
you?
of the downs
I love
on
that
that
you brought up
one.
the Gambino family.
And she's a
One,
drunk.
because there was more to it than I guess was just.
She
discussed
loved
before.
that he
So we
brought
talked
up
about
the
Joe Gage,
Gambino
who's the one
family.
who took them down.
family.
He was pulled
Bro,
over and he
she's
was in possession
alcoholic.
of a large amount of cocaine, right? So that's how he was located. And then I think the word that you're using, manufacturing, I kind of understand where you're coming from. You're saying that we're being a part of something that is criminal, so therefore we're helping to manufacture it. When in reality, what it is we're going in there. And so we talk about one of the captains of the Gambino family who had a construction company, racketeering, fraud, all of those things, tax evasion, all the
She looks
things.
like she
So we're
drinks
sending
a
an
lot.
informant. We're looking for those things. We're not necessarily committing a crime
Smokes,
also
too.
alongside the people who are already engaged in criminal activity.
You're not committing the crime, but you're manufacturing the crime.
But if we're finding evidence by utilizing an undercover detective or a corroborating witness, we're not engaging in criminal activity, we're locating criminal activity that's already in place.
Or by bringing that confidential informant in, manufacturing it, as far as I'm concerned, because it wasn't there before this particular informant brought it to the alleged defendant or perpetrator. Let's put it that way.
Okay, so let's use your example.
Okay.
He's willing to
I pull
die
somebody
on
over,
this.
and we're going to go into narcotics. We're not even going to necessarily talk about organized
I
crime.
mean,
and
facts are
obvious things, but
facts.
I pull over somebody and I pull them over, and they're like, "Man, I can't go to jail again. I can't go to jail." And we know that they're a lower
But
level.
they talk about other subjects.
Holder, or maybe even a seller, and we want the big person. There's already
Yeah, I
a
know, I
relationship
see
there where criminal
the
activity is
timer
already
is
occurring.
for
Otherwise, we're
subjects,
not
right?
getting someone in the door, right? So if I pulled somebody over from your
think so,
family
yeah.
or your ex-family, and
I was a Colombo guy, by the way, but I was very familiar with the gambling.
No, I know. I'm pretty familiar with the Gambino family. I'm a Jersey girl, by the way. But
I could tell.
so,
Straightforward.
hell yeah. So what I'm saying is if I'm building a corroborating witness or a confidential informant, and I utilize that person into an investigation, there's already a relationship there based on the criminal activity that's happened. There's already things that they're bringing to the table to make sure that I understand their why as whether or not I can even use them, right? Reliable or not, nobody's reliable fully. So I need other things to show me that I'm going to be able to have the evidence to move forward. So
How much do you think Jubilee's paying these people to be on here?
I don't know. I don't know if they have it on.
Do you think it's nah?
I'm not always
think
asking
they
somebody
put
to
it
commit a
up
crime
and
with somebody
people
in
sign
order to
up
be a
that
part of the
wanna do it.
manufacturing of whatever crime. I'm looking for the evidence.
okay.
Whether it's going in there and it's looking at your books or sitting in on a dinner where there's conversations being had that can corroborate the information that we believe we already have. It's not going to be like, hey, I know, and you used Gotti as the example. So I know that Gotti's the boss. I'm not going to like just manufacture something. I'm gonna start doing surveillance. I'm gonna watch
Maybe
criminal
like
activity take place.
Jordan
I'm gonna utilize that
Peterson
to
or
build probable
something, maybe
cause.
they-
Yeah, you're
pay.
bringing together the totality of the tools that you have, the
Right.
weapons that you have to investigate this crime.
Correct.
Nothing wrong with that. I get it. I mean,
But that's what a CI
Well,
or
maybe
an
not.
undercover is going to help me do as well.
Yes.
It's after those things that I just talked to you about are starting to form, or at least that's how an investigation goes in Jersey that I've been a part of. We're utilizing all those things to come together and then use that CI to go in and witness criminal activity that's already taking place in a criminal environment. It's not something we're already manufacturing.
let me give you an example. I was a subject of an undercover operation. It was me and Don King.
Okay.
The government was trying to allege and prove that organized crime was involved in professional boxing. So they had an undercover informant and an FBI agent that went on, undercover, and they were with me for 8 or 9 months. Now, I was not involved in this organized crime being involved in professional boxing, but I was a target. They believed that they can get to me to try to prove their case. It never happened. I was never involved in it. But for 8 months, they tried to get me involved in criminal activity and infiltrate me and Don King. They tried to get me to get Don King to take a bribe and all this kind of stuff. We didn't go for it, and the investigation went down. If they would have got me to go along with it, they manufactured it.
They were trying to look to get you to fit the crime that they wanted because
Correct.
they couldn't get you somewhere else.
Correct.
I can understand where your point is coming from. You're saying that we're manufacturing the crime by bringing you in and building that relationship. But again, to go back, you still say yes or no to it. We're giving you the opportunity to say yes or no. And you're saying you said no.
Yeah, but I would have had nothing to say no to if the government didn't try to trap me into it. They actually tried to lay a trap for me to get involved.
And they didn't. So you're saying the criminal justice system worked for you.
I guess.
Because that's what it is, right? It's a justice system for criminals.
You could say I got lucky, I got whatever. I didn't bite, but I almost did. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not that brilliant. I almost did, but I didn't. But I would have had nothing to say no to if they didn't manufacture the crime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you understand.
Oh,
what-
Thank
that's
you.
just
Thank
her
you. I don't
time.
agree, but I
Oh,
understand.
it's okay. You understand. Thank you. My next surrounding claim is that law enforcement believes it's okay to violate the law
yeah,
in
that's
order
a
to
further
arrest the
question.
lawbreakers.
Hey, Mike, nice
How are you? Nice to meet you.
I want to start with a question.
This should
How
be
many cases as a
interesting.
law enforcement officer have you worked?
Have I worked as a
Damn,
law
this dude
enforcement?
got
None.
speech
My
impediment.
point is, you don't know the ins and outs from our perspective of how much work, time away from our family.
He's got
effort
sugar in the
to get
tank.
A good case that's going to stick. You think we want to mess all?
I think I want something in my mouth right now.
I have a speech impediment. You're making fun of people with speech impediments? That's not very nice.
And what you just did reminded me just of this guy. Put your pink jacket
Pull that
on.
work up
Shut
by
up.
breaking the law? I mean, you would understand that would seem very foolish, right?
No, not. If your name is John Gotti, Sonny Francis, Michael Francis, Fat Tony Salerno, Joe Colombo, no, I don't think
he's
that's
already
unreasonable
done with
that
this
law
guy.
enforcement would break the law
So
in
get
order
this
to catch
lisp having
somebody
ass
that they
dude
think
out
is
of
a
this.
name like that. I've seen it happen.
And in what ways have you seen it happen?
By suborning perjury, by holding back exculpatory material at a trial.
Yo, the black
by
dude wants
FBI
to
agents
punch him.
coercing people into
You see that shit?
coercing people into going undercover against people. I've seen that my whole life.
And listen, I mean, we can't speak on definites, right? Like I've always taught my kids.
But I
anything
do the
you
Yankees
start
cap?
with, like,
Nope. Other
everyone,
one.
all, nobody,
To the
never.
left.
The next thing you say is going to be a lie.
To the ball guy's
so
right.
Are there cops that have broken the law jeopardizing cases that they have worked very, very hard for? Of
There's
course.
a lot of
But-
bacon in there.
You just made my point.
No, I know, but it's not definite, right? And I would say the vast majority of police officers, they're not doing that because
like
the amount of work. But of course, we can agree that it does happen. There's too many.
'Cause he
there's too
wants
many
to be
people,
on the
too many variables for it to say it
microphone.
never happens. I don't think that's the claim. The claim makes it seem more like it happens more than it does not happen, and that's just absolutely wrong.
I think it depends upon who the targets are. Certain law enforcement people build their careers
Wasn't
on the
that dude
names of
already
people that
out?
they go after. Certainly with John Gotti, certainly with my dad, Sonny Francis, with me to a certain extent.
Yeah.
You have to admit that big names give people in law enforcement an
this guy
incentive
went
to work a
for
little
real.
bit harder to bring them down because you get rewarded for that.
Because what comes with those big names?
A reward if you convict
Many
them.
victims, right?
A reward if you convict them, yes or no?
A reward
Yes
if you
or no?
convict them, a reward for a job well done for anybody. But big
Okay,
names
good.
equal many victims. I think that's the point that we're missing here. Because a local street dealer, may affect 20, 30, 50, 100 lives, right? But John Gotti's affecting hundreds. Would John Gotti affect the same amount of people and same amount of victims as the lower level guy in the family? Probably not, right?
No,
There's a
no,
reason
no.
why John Gotti became the boss, right?
Let me tell you
You gotta
something.
get 'em
Most
all.
of the time, the informants
They'll get
that are going
replaced.
against the big guys, they're the ones that are doing most of the crime.
I want to know how they decided, we're just going to find the ex-mob boss and get 20 cops and put them in a room together.
Somebody had the idea. They went to that guy, or maybe it was that guy's idea.
Somebody,
and he went to
yeah.
them, and he was like, "Yo, let's do this."
Yeah. Let's see how many clips.
Maybe he got a podcast starting, and he's doing this to get you to go find his
Yeah,
podcast.
I wonder. Okay.
I think to stick to the point at hand, to say that no police officer has ever broken the law,
No police
jeopardizing their
officer.
case, that would be foolish. I would never say that, right? Because
Never,
there's too many variables.
sped it up a little
But
bit.
That would
the
be
way that the claim
foolish.
states makes it seem almost like it's common practice. It's just not true.
Let me make it clear right now. I hope to believe that most law enforcement people are on the level. I have many friends in law enforcement now. The guy that was trying to put me away forever on that undercover sting operation became one of my best friends. Now, he's back in New York. Joe Spinelli was the head of the FBI. Good guy.
There's a mutual respect there. That's
Mutual
all.
respect, yes. He came after me,
Not
did it
a
the right
good
way.
guy.
Listen,
Fuck
we
you
told
for
people all the
saying
time, FBI agents, you come and get me.
Somebody
get me.
mush this
Just don't
dude's
frame me
nose in.
and don't harass my family. That's it, because we're not going to do that to you. Don't do it to us. So I want to believe that most people in law enforcement are straight up and they do their job. Yes. But come on, you said it, you know it. There's many times, depending upon who that person is, that they will violate the law or they will stretch because it puts, a feather in their cap. They get promoted, whatever. And I know so many people. They convict this guy, they become a federal judge the next day. Come on, it happens. Not all the time, but absolutely it does.
Pause. You've been voted out. Thank you.
Okay.
Pause. Get this fruitcake out of here.
Yeah, they got. You thought he was fruity?
Tom, how are you?
Well,
All
you
y'all
told
with
us a little
y'all
bit about
lists are
yourself.
fruity.
I'll tell you a little bit about me. I spent 23 years as an FBI agent, all in Los Angeles. So I have no personal experience of working in New York as an agent. And I never
Just
worked
imagine
as a
getting pulled over by
Carry
these
over.
people, and you got to
Yeah,
deal with these
yeah,
people
very
the way they
good.
talk and
Yeah,
look.
Very good. I was married to a cop for many years.
He's annoying too.
LAPD.
Why?
I've known hundreds of police officers and worked with hundreds and agents.
Because
And your general statement
Now look how
is
he's
that law
moving
enforcement
and
believes, it's a
looking
pretty
and
broad
talking.
statement, that it's
It's
okay to
annoying.
break the law to get the lawbreaker. And I disagree with that. You're describing an FBI that I don't recognize. Well, I'm not going to argue with your experience, but in the Bureau,
Have you been paying attention to the FBI today?
I have been.
Okay. Will you agree that they've been breaking the law?
No.
You won't agree to that? Today's,
I'm
well, not
gonna-
today. The FBI of the last administration has not been breaking the law, doing things that they shouldn't be doing.
No, I disagree with you vehemently on that.
The Biden administration FBI, you say, has been totally above board. Comey has been totally above board.
I am not going to go into some broad political
I'm not being
discussion.
broad.
with
I'm
you.
got him. He's got him. Like if this was a boxing match, this dude's on the ropes already.
being factual. You believe that James Comey has not broken the law, has not been, you think he's been an honest and upright and law-abiding FBI agent.
I think James Comey was a good director of the FBI while he was the director. I think he operated with integrity and honor.
We disagree.
And he was widely respected while he was director. Do I think he may have made some mistakes of judgment along the way? Yes, I could say that about a lot of bosses.
Why did he allow Hillary Clinton to smash her? No, excuse me. I would have went to jail for that, and so would everybody in this room. Why would he allow Hillary Clinton to smash all of her computers and everything that she had information on, and not indict her for obstruction of justice?
My understanding of that case is that she was not indicted because they could not prove a criminal intent. Now, earlier today,
She admitted that they whitewashed her computers and everything else, all the information that she had in there. She broke her phones and everything else. She admitted to it.
Yeah.
She did it.
your argument earlier is that law enforcement will break the law to break lawbreakers, to
Some of
catch
them.
lawbreakers. That's not my experience. My experience of the FBI is for every investigative technique, I had to get approval at every step of the way. Let's take a trash cover. For the audience, a trash cover is when law enforcement picks up the trash that somebody puts out on the street. I don't need a search warrant for that. But the FBI requires that I get approval from my supervisor in writing and articulate why I'm going to conduct this operation, what's the purpose of it, and then I have to document the results.
Are you familiar with an FBI agent named Linda Vecchio?
No.
Okay. He
No.
was indicted for murder. Four murders. Because he worked
I
with
think
a
more of your
confidential-
guys than my guys have been indicted for murder.
Absolutely, because we were criminals, but the FBI is supposed
Yes,
to be
you were. You were
upstanding
criminals.
citizens that took an oath to protect people. But we were criminals. I'll admit to that. We didn't take an oath to abide by the law at all. But FBI agents do. And I'm not
course we
saying,
do.
I want to make it clear, I'm not saying this, I'm not throwing a blanket over everybody.
Of
There
course
a lot
you are.
No, I'm not. There are a lot of good,
You just
decent
make a
FBI
broad
agents.
statement that the FBI committed crimes during the Biden administration, that Comey
No, I
committed
say
crimes.
James Comey did. James Comey did. 100% he did. James Comey absolutely did. I don't throw a blanket over everybody.
All the other ones are
Absolutely
laughing
not.
and
But there
like-
were certain FBI agents that
They
did not
know.
uphold the law.
I get that. Now let's
Okay.
wind this back.
That's
a little
all I
bit.
needed to hear.
You have a certain view of the Comey years and that period. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm not going to
you.
argue that with you. What I am here to tell you, as from my perspective, from my personal experience as an agent, that we want to get the bad guy, yes, but we don't think it's okay to break the law and do bad things to do it. Now, can there be a problem? Absolutely. I know of cases
Yes, you
where
do. You know you
officers
can lie.
and agents, or to use an example of the FBI,
Yeah, they're allowed to lie.
we had a situation where someone in the lab
They're allowed to lie.
was maybe shading his or her analysis
All right,
to
let-
favor the
let-
prosecutor.
let me
Allow
ask
me
you
to
this.
finish. I listened to you very
Okay, go ahead.
patiently. So there is absolutely
I
a
support the
risk
police, though.
that anyone in law enforcement
Got, you know,
Could-
hard job.
lose sight of their ethics and their values, and that is very much the responsibility of the agency and the leadership and the management to create
Agreed.
the culture that says, no, to go to one of the points you made earlier, hey, you don't mind getting caught if you're caught when law enforcement plays by the rules. What I'm trying to tell you is that as an agent, your friend Scott Garriola,
Great guy.
great guy, he played by the rules. The
100%.
agents that I've worked with played by the rules. Do we make mistakes? Yes.
Okay,
Are
but-
there mistakes of judgment? Allow me to finish. Yes.
I understand where you're going, but I have a very important question.
Go ahead.
Can you sit there and tell me that you have 100% belief that no agent will violate the law or do something unscrupulous to catch a lawbreaker?
That would be an absurd statement to make.
Why
There
is it
can be no
absurd? I'm
claim.
asking you a question. You're saying that in your experience, every agent that takes that oath abides by the oath 100%.
What I'm telling you
Yes or
is
no?
that the FBI, like any other organization, every law enforcement, your organization, you guys violated your oath or you
We're
wouldn't
criminals.
be here. Right.
You can't, we were criminals. You
vi-
can't compare
but
us to the if you compare us to the
I'm
FBI,
not
we're in a
comparing,
lot of trouble.
I'm not comparing.
We just broke it down. We're
What?
criminals. We're
That's
criminals.
fucking hilarious.
This dude, yeah, he's the FBI. He remembers.
None
I'm
of them
talking
are
about is
ever going
human
to say
nature.
anything
Are there
bad
human beings
about
that are imperfect? Of course they
being
are.
a
It's no
cop.
great debating
That's
point
not
to
the
say,
question.
stop.
That's not
It's
the
no great
question.
debating point
That's
to
not
say,
the question.
oh, you guys, you had this guy who did
Look.
this. Of course.
That's not the
He
question.
told him to
I asked
stop
you a
like he
simple
was his
question. Do you
child.
believe that every FBI
Like he needs
agent in the
respect.
Bureau does things 100% ethically all the time, and they will not stretch it in order to catch a perpetrator? Yes or no? Yes or no?
That is
Too broad. of a
Just
Just
question.
answer the question.
It's a yes or no.
It is. There's no way anybody could answer.
Why not?
Oh, I believe every agent is perfect.
Why
Nonsense.
not? I can tell you people in my organization that violated certain things. They did it, or they didn't do it.
Look,
and I'll tell you, if you ask me that
what
question,
I
I
can
would say
speak
no.
to, what I can speak to
Okay.
is what I was taught in the academy. I can speak to the standards my supervisors held me to. I can speak to how my management behaved. I can speak to the attitude of the agents I worked with. In theory, I have known.
You've never heard of any agent that violated their ethical
Of course
standard?
I have. I work for one.
Well, that's it.
I think he's the dude who sat behind the desk.
Just none of them are going to say anything bad.
Yeah, but this guy wasn't out in the field or anything. He was an office
I had a
cop.
supervisor who had an improper
was
relationship
in the
with an
mail
informant,
room?
and it caused a lot
Yeah,
of
or-
damage.
Okay.
So to
something
say
like
that
that,
is to say, wow,
He was in the
we have to
email
hire
room?
human beings for this job. No
just,
kidding.
It's just what I said. There are
But
certain
the
agents that
important
will
thing for
violate
the
their
public,
ethics to catch the
the
lawbreaker.
thing that I want you to listen to, as I've listened to you, and I want the audience to hear, is that the organization that I work for, which is made up of thousands of human beings who have all the flaws of every person, but the organizational culture that I was raised in, that I served,
That's a
put
lot of
premium
flaws.
on integrity, and doing the right thing. Are there agents that?
But I know what
Are
you
there
mean.
agents? Yeah, okay. all
I
right.
believe you,
Well,
and I
good.
think that you're sincere in that regard. But can I ask you a question? Why is it that everyone, all of America practically, has no trust in the FBI right now? No trust in our government agencies
Many
anymore?
people have
because-
lied to Americans
Exactly.
about the FBI and about its actions
they've
and
watched-
have mischaracterized.
They've observed the FBI.
They have
They've
mischaracterized.
observed. There's a difference.
No,
Not people lying.
Pizzagate.
They've observed the FBI. Let me tell you now. I like Cash Patel and Dan Bongino. I know him.
Pizza Gate.
Where do you come up?
That's why nobody trusts the government and FBI right now. What are you talking
Okay,
about?
okay.
Very ethical, good guy with integrity. I'm so happy that he's the
You say you got the
deputy
Epstein
director of
file, then
He
you
has
don't?
integrity. I can't
We
say that
trust
to
you
the left.
after
People
that?
in all of America, a good
Fuck
portion
you,
of America believes the same thing
Pizzagate,
because of their
bitch.
actions.
Actually, I think it's because they're being lied to
who?
frequently by figures in the media.
By who?
Well, you're doing it
I'm
right
not
now.
lying. No, I'm not lying, sir. I'm telling you the truth based upon my experience.
What do you know about the Clinton case? You've recited a bunch of factually incorrect statements
They're not
already.
incorrect. Tell me how I'm wrong. Tell me how I'm wrong about Hillary Clinton.
You're representing that somehow the FBI knew that she'd obstructed justice.
Comey
If we
did
could
it.
have, if we could have proven
She
criminal
said
intent,
it.
an intent to violate the law, she would have been charged.
You need to tell me that.
It's the same reason why other people aren't
You need to
charged.
tell me in the Biden administration, they would have went after Hillary Clinton. Biden would have allowed the FBI, and Comey would have went after Hillary Clinton.
You have a
believe
belief
that?
about
No,
the,
I'm
the,
sorry.
the FBI and the Department of
This dude's
Justice. and
definitely a
somehow
Trumper.
The Biden
They're both
administration was
Trumpers.
dictating to the FBI what to do.
Absolutely.
That's not the
There was
bureau that I
politics.
work
The bureau
for.
became too political on a national level. I'm not on
That
a
guy
local level,
just
maybe not
won't
here in LA.
I
but
say
disagree with you. I
anything
believe
bad
that
about
has been alleged
the
repeatedly
FBI.
till it's an urban legend that people
no, you
believe.
can see it. The FBI has been politicized during the Biden administration. I wish they weren't. Comey was totally politicized. Absolutely. What they did to look. Let me tell you this. I'm not, Donald Trump, I think he's a good president, and I want him there because the last one would have been a disaster. America would have been, I don't know where we would have been right now, but I'll tell you right now, okay, there's no question that Comey was politicized to do what they did to that man.
To do what they did to which one? Trump?
Come on.
Well, I disagree with you.
Really?
I do.
Okay, pause.
Okay. You got it.
Turn back your seat. We're actually going to add 5 more minutes to the clock for this. This is a really good claim. We're going to add 5 minutes. Not for you, Tom.
Get the fuck out of here, Tom.
No, they didn't vote him out, though.
So let me ask you this. What got Gotti got? What got him got?
What got him got?
What got him got?
Well, the main, you want to go to the main witness against Gotti? It was Sammy Gravano.
What got him got, though?
Clarify.
The mouth.
Oh, the mouth. Oh, no doubt about
Right?
it. I absolutely agree
The
with
wire,
that.
right?
Yes.
Okay. So in order to get that wire, certain steps we have to go through.
Yes.
Right? A judge has to sign off on that. Right? So you have to have all this stuff in place before you even attempt to go in that house, before you attempt to climb up that pole, before you attempt to go and put a confidential informant in there. Most of that stuff has to be laid out. And a good judge is not going to sign any of that. He's going to look at that and say, what has this CI done?
And what does a
prior?
bad judge do? He'll just sign it, right? Because
He may.
so you have good
He
and
may.
bad judges.
Right, but most of the time, there's a big trail. There's smoke, there's fire, right? 90% of the time. So what got him in trouble was he couldn't shut up.
That's true.
Right?
I agree.
And that's what gets most of crime bosses in trouble.
Well, not the chin.
Okay, how do you go there?
Huh?
How do you go there?
Me?
Yeah, how'd you go there?
Never on a wiretap.
Never on the wire?
No.
Okay, so your mind, how did you go there?
How did I go
Can
down?
you say that?
I had an
Can you talk?
informant.
Okay, well, was this informant, did he face you in court?
One time he did, and I was acquitted. Yeah.
Okay, he testified?
Yeah.
All right, so how did you get acquitted? What did they say the informant did or didn't prove?
Well, he lied. That's
Okay,
my
but
point from before. He
so
lied.
your attorney got you off, right?
He didn't get me off. I was innocent. So he lied.
What did he lie about? But what did he lie about?
He
Say,
lied
what did he lie
about
about
me.
his stand? So
He lied about the facts that they were trying to prove against me that were ridiculous, and the jury saw through it, and I got acquitted. And again, I'm not throwing a blanket over every person in law enforcement. But what I'm saying is, in certain situations, I believe law enforcement thinks it's okay to violate the law to catch a lawbreaker because, well, we can't get him for what he didn't do, so let's try to manufacture something or get him something that we can
filled up
so
pretty
you think
quickly.
manufactured?
All you need to do is talk about an everyday traffic stop. Has a police officer ever tried to stick his foot in the threshold of your door so you can't close it? I see it all the time on the TV. That's illegal. You can't cross my threshold, bitch. That's entering my house now. You just violated my rights. I'm suing.
How are you?
Where's your warrant?
Don't do anything to get one for the police to come.
I would hope so.
Yo,
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So
they go to the wrong houses all the time too. Yo, and they be swatting people. Wrong fucking address.
So that'd be horrible.
I don't care why you knock on my door. If you don't have a warrant, don't put your foot in my house.
Getting swatted.
I'll fucking crush their foot and they'll shoot me and then I'll really get money.
I couldn't imagine.
If I live.
I'd be shook. That would not be
Car
fun.
that has a
Go
kidnapping
through
on
it
it,
all.
correct?
No.
A police officer's going down the street, and he sees this car, correct? Is that breaking the law if you run through a red light?
Yes.
Okay, so the police officer should stop at the red light while that car drives off with the kidnapped girl.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so you're telling me that you would hope that law enforcement can operate without breaking any laws, but you're telling me now that he should break that law to go get that girl.
Law enforcement, I've seen law enforcement, are you allowed to go through a red light? As a law enforcement
Yes,
officer?
you are. If you cut your
Well,
lights
you're not
on before
breaking
you go
the
through
law.
a red light. Okay. So I
But you're
think
not
that
breaking the law.
It's still a law. In my opinion, I think law
But
enforcement.
you're not breaking the law because you're allowed to go through a red light, so you're not breaking the law.
Okay, so we're setting laws out.
And I would hope
you're
that
being
you
very
would go.
big on laws then because you're saying laws in general. Because
They're not
that
allowed
would
to
still
just
be
go
law, just
through a
like
red
speeding
light
is
though.
a
They
law.
have to have the
What I'm
lights
saying
on
is
and the
that law
siren going.
enforcement, in most cases, now I'm going to tell you something. My daughter in a
They
car.
can't just
and I
bump
don't
through
care
red
what you
lights.
do,
They
I don't
can't
care
just
what you do.
speed
You get it,
unless
you know?
they have their
Obviously,
lights on.
personal. Okay, so I understand that, and I would hope that you would do that. Okay, but that's a different case. What I'm saying is, I believe that many in law enforcement, and again, it always depends.
They
upon
can't
the
just
situation.
park right in
Think
front
it's
of
okay,
any
this is a bad
business and
guy,
go
you
in.
can't get him for what we did, so
That's
we can
illegal too.
Manufacture or bring something around him so that we can put him in jail. And I think law enforcement does that. I don't even know if I.
They have to follow the directions
If I knew
unless
that
their
the guy was
lights
a
are
serial
on.
killer, and I can't get the
And
guy,
they're on a
and I had to
call.
do something to make him make a mistake so I can, I would definitely do it.
Right.
But I'm a criminal at times. I'm
Okay.
not anymore, but I was back then. Okay, I would definitely do it.
Right.
You're not supposed to do that, but I wouldn't be mad if you did. Now, let me just ask you a question. Let's be totally honest.
Okay.
Do you believe that in some situations it's okay for law enforcement to break the law in order to go after lawbreakers?
Law enforcement should be able to break laws in a controlled environment to do
They
things.
should be
everything
able to
can,
break
as
the
long as it's
laws?
there. Just like running the red light, just like catching somebody going 100 miles an hour over the speed limit. Because you were speaking specifically on just entrapment and setting
Yeah,
people
but
up
those
for
aren't
things and
just
See, my point
rights
in
for
that
the
is that
police.
You're not breaking.
It's situational.
I thought with like high speed chases, the police aren't supposed to go over a certain speed limit.
They're not, and if like a motorcycle person,
Yeah.
they're supposed to let them go.
Then just
Don't
get the
chase
license
them.
plate.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they don't.
radio it down. Maybe someone down the way is closer to
Yeah.
them or whatever. Like
The law, if you're legally allowed to do it, then you're not a lawbreaker. You're allowed to go past the red light. You're allowed to speed.
There's a
no,
reason.
they're not.
And I
They
agree
need
with
to
that, by the way.
see.
You
They're
should be allowed
not.
to do that.
They're even lying. Right? He knows he can't
next
go
one
unless
I'm
the
saying is
sirens
law
on, but he's not going to bring
enforcement
that up
measures
because he
success
wants to
by
win the
arrests
argument.
And not by safer streets. How are you? How you doing? Good.
He was going to tackle
I'm from
him.
Houston,
He's going to
Texas.
run right through him.
I'm big on, DWI, DRE. So most of the time, I don't answer calls at all. My work is driven off of stats, arrest. So for you to make that kind of claim is very, misleading and dangerous because most of the time I'm putting my life at risk to stop impaired drivers, drunk drivers. So which means if I see somebody driving, wrong way, I'm probably going to put myself in harm's way to, stop that driver so that somebody doesn't get hit or killed. So I don't believe in your claim. Do you have any experience in that at all?
Well, again, my experience comes from a different place. Being in the world of organized crime, growing up in that, being a subject of several arrests and investigations, and watching others also. In that world, there's no question that people, not safer streets that they're concerned about. They're concerned about the arrest and what it brings to them personally.
So would you say making arrests with your own organized crime is different from me making arrests from DWI?
Yeah.
So what makes that difference if we're still making arrests on bad guys? It's just different crimes.
Well, again, it goes back to the totality of the situation. You're not manufacturing a crime. You're not targeting. Let me tell you the difference with organized crime, okay? You just pointed it out. You go after the lawbreaker because you're watching them violate the law, drunken driver or whatever, right? Okay, so you go after the person that's committing the crime. But a crime has been committed. In organized crime, they go after the person and hope that they commit a crime, or wait for them to commit a crime because they think that they're a
No, they
lawbreaker.
push a
You're
crime
watching
towards
this guy
them.
for a few
Yeah,
months,
I hope
thinking
they
he might
bite.
be a
It's like
drunk driver,
fishing.
and then waiting for him to
Yeah,
get in a
and
car.
most of the time it's a
You know,
crime that wasn't going to be committed
he's drunk
unless
driving,
they
and you're going
made it
after
up and
him,
said,
because he's committed
guys,
a
do
crime at
this.
that moment. That's okay. That's what you're supposed to do. It's a different investigation.
Okay, pause and vote it out. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Like someone coming up to me and being like, yo, I know where there's 10 mil in gold. Let's go get it.
When I pass this, do you think you cannot Think you can just grab the Dutch and not like molest my hand about it?
Oh, yeah, okay. We'll try.
How you doing?
How are you? Good.
Good.
I even
completely
like
disagree with
I
you.
tried to
Local
go away
law
from you last
enforcement,
time, and you
federal,
were like
state, local,
coming
are
closer. I was like,
decent,
no.
honorable people.
We agree.
Who put their life on the line every single day for the American people in this country. I don't think that people are focused on stats, quotas, arrests, you name it. I hear that you keep mentioning this point about people getting promoted because of the amount of arrests that they make. I doubt that happens now in modern day law enforcement. When I first started on the streets, I was making $15 an hour. It didn't matter to me about how many arrests I made. It was about whether or not I made it home safe at night. So based on the premise that
Does
you
he not know he's black and you ain't getting that promotion
And I agree
anyway?
in part on what you
Wow,
said,
I
that most
can't
people
believe
come
you
into
said
law
that.
enforcement to do the right thing. But
It's the
what level of
crazy
law enforcement
world we
are you
live
Oh, that's
in.
what we didn't talk about. We got a new police
Meaning
chief.
Who are the perpetrators of crimes that you
Say
usually
what?
go after?
I forget what that guy even said.
You should be in a different world. You should be in a world where they're going after high-level people. You mean to tell me that high-level people being arrested, charged, convicted, big-name people, don't mean anything to the people that arrest and convict them?
I've arrested big name people, but I think a lot of times when I think the level that you're trying to speak at a federal level, right? That's what I assume. You're saying like the high name cases, the big drug lords, and those type of arrests. But these people didn't plant those guys to go make an arrest just based on their name. They had probable cause. They had a reason to go after these people. Even when you make those type of arrests,
Doesn't
it
matter.
doesn't automatically equate to
He
a
made
promotion
up
or some
the
type of
crime.
accolade.
Not
These-
automatically.
Well, they're not a
Not
different
automatically.
question,
Not
ain't they?
automatically. I disagree with that as well. I think, again, my premise is that 90% of
okay.
law enforcement officers across the board
What happened to
don't
the-
go into
what happened
profession
to
to
the-
make arrests. They don't have the resources or the time to sit there and count how many arrests that they're making.
Do you know who John Gleason was, a federal prosecutor?
I'm not familiar with him.
He prosecuted John Gotti. Got a
So you don't have a
What happened
file.
John Gotti, don't you?
Your boss don't have a file
to-
of yours at
We'll
work?
talk about it.
Yeah.
I can
He
talk
doesn't
about
know
it.
how many
He
arrests you
prosecuted John
made?
Gotti and convicted him. What happened
Is that what
after
he's trying to
I don't know.
say?
Let's get back to the premise.
Appointed a federal judge. Okay, right after that. You think he didn't know?
You guys
that?
are that
He wasn't
unorganized?
convinced
You
think
don't
that-
know how many arrests you
have to
made,
admit
dude?
That when you get these high-level
I would've laughed
prosecutions
at
and
him for saying
convictions,
that.
that it's a feather in your cap, and you're looking for a promotion, and many times it happens.
I disagree. Again, I think most people are out there doing their job and putting their life on the line.
I agree
You can't
with
get
you.
people to even get into law enforcement nowadays. It is absolutely squeezed dry. People don't want to go into the career of law
His
enforcement.
boss
anymore.
is just like,
If-
I
if-
wonder
if
how
you
many
get a
arrests
big
you
promotion-
made.
No, now you're right, because the way leadership treats law enforcement
You
today
think if
is
you don't make no arrests all year, you ain't gonna get fired sooner or later?
No, it's not. No.
Absolutely, it
No,
is.
it's these woke leaders that don't give a damn about the police,
Woke
and that's why the
leaders.
police are leaving, because they don't stand behind him. Because you arrest a criminal in New York, you've been arrested 18 times, and the next morning you're out on no bail. I get arrested for a money crime, and I'm in there with $1 million bail and a no bail at all. So that's why the cops are. I understand that. If I was who would want to be a cop right now? You're arresting criminals 20 times. You got people committing crimes 18 times and getting out on jail and going murdering
And
somebody.
that's exactly
it's
why-
not you.
Yeah.
It's not the cops. I don't blame the cops for not wanting to be there anymore, because these woke leadership are destroying our police departments.
Let's get back to the premise, because I actually agree with a lot of things that you said, but you actually proved my point that when police officers or law enforcement agents are making arrests, these people are doing it not for the accolades, not for the glory, because there's not much in it. Unless you're at the federal level and you got decades of experience in it, making a six-figure check. So again, your premise, saying that we are looking for accolades or trying to make arrests to get promotions, is completely false, is wrong.
It's not false.
It is. It's
Not
absolutely
false. It's
false.
not
Most
false
of these
in-
local guys
it's
that are
not
working
false
these
in-
roads,
I
working
agree-
these
I
streets,
agree with
they
you.
have we each and every day we go out there, we put our life on the line. I didn't go out there for quotas or to make a amount of DWI arrests. In fact, most law enforcement officers are actually afraid to go hands-on.
You know
They're
he's
afraid to go
lying
hands-on.
now.
They're afraid to deal with people like you. It's not a game. This is
He
not,
said,
He's lying.
you know he is. He don't really got much else to say when he starts bringing up, I put my life on the line. I go out there every day and put my life on the line. No, he wants to feel bad for you. And, oh, thank you for putting your life on the line. So, oh, okay.
Thank you.
not funny.
They're not afraid to deal with us.
Absolutely.
No,
a
they're not.
lot of people are.
Why,
A lot of
afraid to
people
us?
are.
We are. Let me tell you something. We are an officer's dream. You arrest us, we put our hands out, we go to court, and that's it. Okay,
The
that's
bigger
it.
the
We're not
name,
running this. We're not running
the better
away
you
from
look.
I don't know where
That's
you're
just
coming from.
common
No,
sense.
I'm telling you, we are a law enforcement's dream. We don't fight back. We don't do anything. We go to court and we go to jail.
We don't
That's what
profile.
do.
We treat
What
everybody
do.
the same as that way. We don't know what you're capable of.
No, you're wrong about that,
No,
bro.
I'm right about that.
No, you're wrong
I'm
about
right
that.
about that.
You're out here in LA you got to go back to New York or Chicago or places like that, and you'll see a whole different atmosphere. And let me tell you something, I agree with you with the police. I agree, I am on the side of the police in that regard. But there are certain levels of law enforcement that go for the names and go for the promotion. There's no question
disagree.
about it. You can't disagree, it's happened.
You've been voted out by the majority. Please return.
You said you can't disagree.
Thank you.
You really can't. Facts are facts, bro. History. Oh, he finally got up there. He's gonna tackle him.
Hillary Clinton and John Gotti.
Yo, he's got his shit together.
This guy?
The mob boss.
your arrest record is a direct reflection
This
of your work
dude
ethic.
looked like
I think
Carlton
that
on
you can take one
steroids.
down the
It's
street,
me.
you can say this guy made 100 arrests this year. And from an internal perspective, you say, man, that dude shows up, he busts his ass and works really hard. That sounds
got the
terrible,
gay
but
earring in?
that I'm out there arresting X amount of people. I probably look ruthless and
He's
unforgiving,
so-
whatever you want to say.
Because
You
it's
take
a
the same guy
hoop.
on my squad who's made 5 arrests this year.
Look
What do you
at
think
him.
they say about that guy?
You don't see
He's
that
lazy.
sweet tart,
You know,
pop
he's sitting
tart
in a
in him?
retreat. If you drive past that guy in public,
He's a
you
cop
see what
too.
tax
Come
dollars
on.
are going for. So I feel like we
Look
can't
at
go
them.
in,
They're all
no matter
softies
what, but if
that
not by
want
the arrest
respect
record,
real bad
you
inside.
could judge off other things, but I mean, what else would you? How else would they? Promote us?
Because they don't get it anywhere. Their wife don't respect
is
them.
mostly on the federal level.
Kids don't
Yeah,
respect
I'm sitting
them.
there wondering why
It's a
they're
whole different
even
ballgame.
on.
It really is.
this.
It's a different.
Nobody
ballgame.
respects these two.
I'm
Okay,
enjoying watching
let me tell
this,
you
so I'm thinking.
During the golden years of,
Huh?
of the
What
mob,
was the-
from the
what was the
late
picking
40s right
system?
through the mid 80s when the RICO Act went crazy and put
This-
everybody in jail. Those were the golden years of the mob. New York Times, New York
They
Post,
look for
Daily
people
News,
that don't
Long
think
Island
for
Press,
themselves
Thursday,
too. When those
something about
cop
mob.
tests that
Every
you
single
take to
day.
be a cop.
Again, Gotti, Fat Tony,
They
Joe
don't want
Carlo,
real
they're all bigger than
smart,
life.
self-thinking
You need to
people.
tell me that people don't go after these guys, okay, because they know it's a
Says
big
a lot
feather in their
about you
cap.
if you're a
It's
cop.
human nature. Of course they do. I'm not saying it happens on every level. I'm certainly not saying it happens on law. I would hope that you make a lot of arrests for criminals
There's some-
out there.
there's some
It's sickening to
outliers, though,
me
that get in there.
When I look back and I see guys that were arrested
Yeah,
17, 18, 19 times and then come back out
Got
on the street
military
and murder
become
somebody.
police.
It's horrific. I don't even
Oh
understand.
no,
I
those are
can't
even worse than
comprehend it,
these ones.
okay?
Those are
That's a different kind
bootlickers.
of
I'm talking
crime.
about
But when
actual
you go on a
normal
bigger
people that
level,
get in
federal
there
level,
and
they
are
go after
actual
these
good
big
cops.
politicians and they go after organized
There
crime
are
guys
not
and guys with
many.
big names. Of course they're going to get promotions, and of
Because
course
they're
that's
not
in their
looking for
head.
people
So what
like
does that
that.
cause them to do? In my world, it causes them to stretch. Hey, I got to get this guy. This means a lot to me. Okay, it's only normal.
Do you not? You keep referencing like the big names and the cases and things that you went through, and respectfully, do you not see like I don't know more body cameras and there's cameras everywhere?
Yeah,
Standards have
absolutely.
changed, methods have changed. Do you not think all these things have changed for the better? Not saying it's perfect. I see the videos and things like you are referencing. I still see it. I understand them. That'll be perfect. But at the same time, do you still think those things are happening like the way that they used to, at the level that they used to?
Yes.
You do.
Yeah, I unfortunately, look, I think that a certain level of government was corrupt during my time. I can't even comprehend the level of corruption that I see now. Not at your level, not at police force, I'm not saying that at all, okay? I'm saying in the higher levels, FBI. It's shameful what the FBI has become, in my opinion. There were certain sectors of it that weren't good during my time, but what I see now.
Pause. We've been voted out by the majority.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How are you? How about yourself? Okay.
So you've.
I love the fact that they make him race to the chair.
I was just thinking, how come the people that are behind the mafia guy got a longer way to run?
Yeah, they do. They do.
They're getting G'd out.
But them
They're never
chicks,
gonna get
them
it.
ladies, the lady cops are getting there first earlier.
Yeah, because the guys see them getting all fast and hurry, scurry, and they're like, let the bits go. Because they're gentlemen.
This dude moved.
Introduce yourself. I'll introduce myself. So I have worked
There's a
organized crime.
camera
I
on.
have investigated very big
They have
name
to be
people north
gentlemen.
of the border. Some are probably your allies, some probably your enemies or whatnot. I take offense when you say that organized crime enforcement officers like myself on a federal level get promotions, because you know what I got after investigating some very high level people, names that I'm not even going to share. I got a pat on the back, a destroyed relationship with my ex,
Plat on the back.
hours upon hours of reviewing search warrants just to prepare for the case that bleeds into my personal time. I don't even have a personal life. I didn't have a personal life for 2 years. And another case. So when you say that, oh yeah, everyone gets promoted or everyone
Not
gets federal
everyone. No,
level,
I didn't say that. Not everyone.
Okay.
I said it gives incentive to those.
I never got an incentive. I did not know I was going to get promoted, nor did my team members. I didn't even know
You're
if I was going
Chinaman,
to get
you're
this guy
not
to begin with.
friendly. You're not
All I
getting the
had
promotion
was the idea of
either.
knowing that if I get the drugs, I get the guns off the street.
They met their quota when DEI was going on. You missed it, buddy. Huh?
He's probably
If DEI was going on, he'd got the spot, and the white dude would have sat back.
this dude is ICE now, probably.
Oh, okay, yeah. He looks like he's an
Put a
army
mask.
boy.
Maybe 10, 15
came
kids
from the
get to
army.
live. I really didn't care if that. Of course, everyone would say
We
that
don't
guy. But sometimes
care.
that doesn't happen, and you admitted it. Sometimes that doesn't happen. I'm not gonna destroy my career doing something illegal when I know I can get the drugs and the guns off the street and save 15 people. So when you say that people get promoted off
You
this,
ain't saving
not true at all.
nobody, bro.
What they
It
do
is
get,
true. You don't
what they
think
do
you
get
see
is
anybody?
years and years
Nah.
of therapy and having to rebuild their entire life.
Not always.
That's why I left organized crime, because it destroyed my life. I no longer do that because it
Most
absolutely
guns
destroyed
don't
my
get
life.
used for
So I
crime.
never got a promotion. I never got this massive incentive. All I got was
'Cause you
another case to work
lost.
on.
Well, in part, I agree with you. Joe Pistone, Donnie Brasco, after everything that he did, I think they gave him a $500 check afterwards, and then he left the FBI. Okay, but talk about a guy like Andrew Weissman. Andrew Weissman, prosecutor, federal prosecutor, who framed people, and I got absolute proof. I don't say this out of turn. Framed people, put people in jail innocently, suborned perjury, worked with an FBI agent that was involved in murder, covered up crimes that go so deep it'll make your hair stand on end. And what does he get? He gets a promotion, a promotion, a promotion. And his final promotion was being the lead prosecutor in the Mueller investigation against Trump. After he put so many people, he was overturned 9-0 by the Supreme Court in a case that he did. And he keeps getting promoted, promoted, and promoted. He gets all of these big deals, and he does. I mean, all I'm saying is it happens. It happens more than you might think. Unfortunately, it didn't happen for you. But there are a lot of prosecutors out there, especially in the Department of Justice prosecutors, that go after the big names and they get promotions as a result. Even if they lose the case, at times they get promotions. But this guy, Andrew Weissman, do me a favor, look him up. Terrible guy. Put so many innocent people in jail. Destroyed their lives.
Right, but you're talking about a lawyer, okay? I believe the statement was...
he's a prosecutor.
Okay, I'm talking about cops.
I agree with you with cops.
As a cop, I'm not going to bend the rules. I'm not going to manufacture crime. I'm not going to...
Yes,
I'm not going to put someone in a
Cops
position
don't
where,
plant stuff in
as you
people's
mentioned,
pocket,
fabricate-
car, house.
We don't fabricate crime, nor do we
Some do, all
We
don't.
had that argument already.
Right, but you brought it back.
They're acting
I'm
like
talking
none
from my
do.
level from working in organized crime. There's a lot of
Because none
You mean
do.
to tell me that you're saying to me that nobody in law enforcement ever manufactured a crime by putting a confidential informant in front of somebody to create a crime that never existed? That's manufacturing.
That's back to the first question.
Sorry,
Yeah.
you voted out by the majority.
Okay, thank you. How are you?
So with respect to your claim, you're talking about focusing more on arrest rather than safer streets, correct?
Many times, depending upon the situation, yes.
Of course. So with respect to the audience, for the most part, they don't care about the federal level, they care about walking around the streets on here. You said you have daughters, correct?
5.
Would you feel safe if they walked around the streets here?
In LA now?
Yes, in LA.
No. No.
So then what to you is a safer street, or how do you achieve a safer street?
Well, I think that leadership has to give law enforcement the tools.
A safer street?
A safer street.
More cops.
Look at the draw.
More cops, but good cops. Law-abiding cops.
Yeah.
And the weapons that they need to keep the streets safe. I think that's their primary goal. All right? Keep the streets safe.
Right, and so with respect to that though, to get safer streets, you have to eliminate the crime element, correct?
Yes.
And the only way to do that really is to arrest people, because once you arrest them, and if the court system actually did their job, they'd be put in jail.
Yes.
So just like, if you actually took it to trial, you would have been away for a long time. That's how you achieve a safer street, to actually...
Wouldn't have been safe by putting me away for a long time. I'm sorry. I've been out for 30 some odd years now, and the streets have been pretty safe, so it's okay. But
I would actually push back on that. I actually think for at least temporarily, it was a little bit safer once you got arrested because,
it wasn't safer. I mean, I was stealing tax money. That's all I was doing.
But going back to your argument, I think...
He was stealing tax money.
John Gotti?
Right.
In order to achieve safer streets, you have to limit the criminal
Some
element. You
people
have to
get them off
arrest.
the street, makes the street safer for a night, I would believe.
Upon the situation,
But not someone who's just stealing tax money.
That people will stretch because they know it's a feather in their cap and they'll get promotions, and I can document that. I can tell you where it's happened.
Right. But I mean, if you do arrest, let's say, going to the Fed level, you arrest somebody who's a big name, of course they're going to get accolades for it. It's just like if a high-level executive, lands a big contract, they're going to get a bonus. I mean,
Thank you. Exactly. That's his point.
Incentive to, not so much the crime they're committing, but the fact that it's that person committing the crime.
Then do you feel like it's, obviously you mentioned, they're going to stretch things just to get that accolade. Then do you feel like humans in general are going to do whatever it takes to get that accolade?
Some
Or law
will,
enforcement.
but on law enforcement level, they're not supposed to do that.
No, and I don't think they will, just because.
Oh, they will. They've done it. And that's an unfortunate part of our law
So
enforcement
who
system.
took the?
I think, clarify. I
Who
think this
took
is
the
more
blame for
prosecutorial level.
arresting the cartel guy who dug a tunnel and escaped and got caught again?
El Chapo?
Yeah, that guy.
I don't know who.
We should look that cop up and see, did he get a promotion after?
Probably, because I don't know who he is.
You mean probably not?
It's more
you don't know
political
who
at
he
that
is?
point. We're not talking about, a lot of the, look, I don't know what it is. I mean, if you make 100 arrests or you make 30 arrests, what's the difference to you, guy? I don't know that.
Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Back to your seat.
Thank you.
Yeah, get out of here. Are they gonna let Paul Blart on there or what?
Michael, pleasure meeting you. Thank you.
Oh, there.
Okay, so a couple of things.
There it is.
It is breaking the law, running a red light. But you're saying that it's okay for us to break the law. Did I get that right?
Well, let me get clear on this. If you have a suspect that has broken the law...
Let's go John Gotti. Sorry to interrupt. I'm chasing John Gotti. I'm an FBI agent. I got like...
Are you an FBI agent?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But what I'm saying, because you keep saying... So I want to get something very clear.
Sure.
Okay, let's get clear here. And words have meanings.
Okay.
You're saying at the federal level, hey, you know what? If you arrest John Gotti or some big name, you're going to get promoted, right? You're going to cut corners. You're going to stretch whatever it is to do that. But hey, the DUI guy... No. So essentially what you're saying is that it's self-serving on my part.
Yes.
Okay. But is it self-serving on the DUI driver? Yes or no?
If you arrest the DUI driver?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Probably not.
Okay, so that sounds a little contradictory.
Not at all. You're making my point.
Because I'm making your point, but you're contradicting what you're saying because you're saying things at a 30,000-foot level where
What's
you're
the
saying...
difference to law enforcement?
There's a big difference.
You still take an oath to do the same thing, right?
I understand
to uphold
that.
the law.
What I'm trying to tell you is that it's not self-serving on either level. You keep talking about levels. Is there corruption? Yes. Is there self-serving people who want to promote? Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
But for you to say... Well, that's not what you're saying.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
What am I saying?
Where's the BS button?
Tell me what... No, wait.
I'm going to tell you
Tell
what
me
you're
exactly
doing.
what I'm saying.
What you're saying, you're being a little contradictory. You're saying, hey, you know what? At the federal level, if it's John Gotti or something so big, then you know what? You're doing it for self-serving reasons.
Yeah.
But for the DUI guy, I'm not. I'm here to tell you whether you're doing it for self-serving reasons or not. It doesn't matter. And by the way, if I'm chasing John Gotti, FBI, and we know we got him. We got all the PC. We got everything that we've been working for 5 years. And I'm running a red light. Guess what? I broke the law. Me as an FBI agent, local, state, whatever.
So then a cop following you while you're following, where you as a police officer is going after somebody that broke the law,
yes,
and you go through the red light to catch him,
yes,
a cop behind you can pull you over and give you a ticket.
No.
Well, wait
yes, yes.
So they can.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know that. The other gentleman said that you weren't breaking the law.
Hold on a second. Words have meanings.
Which is it?
We're saying
Which is
that.
it? Was he wrong?
Let me finish.
Was your partner there or whatever? It's not your partner.
I'm not saying that.
No, because the other guy was a cop and this guy's talking about FBI. If FBI usually don't have lights inside of it.
Is it legal or illegal?
So yes, he could get pulled over.
Is it legal or illegal?
But the cop with his lights on, no, he can't get pulled over.
Even when you're pursuing a perpetrator that just committed a crime.
See, they know they're playing games.
Hold on a second.
Go talk to him. He was wrong. Go ahead.
Just listen to my
They
point.
know the law.
Okay.
But who's wrong and who's right? Is he wrong? He said it was okay you're not breaking the law when you run a red light. That's what he said. Is he wrong or right?
He is right because hold on a second. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
There are rules of the road that we're immune by. I totally agree with that.
All right, so it's illegal for you to chasing guns.
But I broke the law.
But he said it was legal. You're allowed to break the law, so then it's not breaking the law.
So then I go to court, and then I'm working undercover, and I run a red, and then all of a sudden the black and white pulls me over and says,
undercover,
"Hey, you ran a red. You were going after John Gotti."
Well, you were
Okay,
undercover.
got
They
it.
didn't know who you were.
Okay, well, that's
when you
my
go to
point.
court and you say I was a cop and I was pursuing a perpetrator, they're going to say get out.
Let's keep the perspective. You're right. I'm on a black and white, and I'm running red. Okay, and you're saying, yeah, hey, you know what?
He said
I can do that.
If you got your lights on.
Come
on, why is this guy playing games?
Why is there so
man?
fixated on the light? Wasn't the light question a couple questions ago too?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Stay on
He
topic,
said that.
people.
I didn't say it.
Everybody here can agree with me. That's not the point. I broke the law by running the red.
All right, can we get him over here because he's mistaken?
No, he's not mistaken.
Well, one of you are.
I'm immune from the rules of the road when
Well, then
I'm in
you're not
pursuit.
breaking the law.
Totally disagree. You're missing my point.
Well, what is your point?
This guy's an idiot.
Well, not according to him. You just said you're immune.
We're going back.
Well,
You just
the-
said you're
the cops
immune
are supposed
from
to slow
breaking the
down
law.
at
Immunity
intersections.
means you didn't break the law.
Even
When
when
you go
this
to
is
court,
the
they give-
best.
No.
What
You go to
happened?
court and they give you immunity for anything.
Anytime
that
I
you
see a
committed.
cop go
Okay,
through
so
an
you're-
intersection with his
you're
lights
then.
on, they
Okay,
slow
you're
down
immune from
to make
breaking
sure
the
no
law.
one
Like 2
knows.
months later, but I'm
Because
saying I
they're
broke the law
smart,
right when it
but-
happened.
Not according to him.
He can still run through it.
Thank you. My final surrounded claim is that paid informants are rarely reliable. How are you?
He wanted to brag and do a dance about winning that race just now.
Paid informants. Yeah.
Yo, I even give you the Dutch like this. I hold it at the very edge to give it to you, and you still come down and go.
Sorry.
I just don't get it. You can't be that scared of the fire, bro.
No, I was just about to say, I don't want to burn.
How many times did you actually
Yeah.
discover that informants were working against you, and how do you actually think that informants work from my side of the table?
I've been to trial 5 times. I've been through 3 separate trials with my dad. I've never seen a paid informant get on the stand, put his left hand on the Bible, swear to tell the truth, and then lie through his teeth. Every single time.
Every single time?
Every single time.
Who worked the investigations against you, FBI?
FBI, local
SYXX.
police, Suffolk County, Nassau County, Florida.
Yeah, I'm not
When you worked
smoking with
federal
you
level,
no more.
There was no
Not passing it to
information
you
or
no more.
evidence that was ever submitted with that informant?
Come on, that shit was
Well,
funny,
you said
dude.
Oh, was it?
every, that means all the time and
All the
every
time. That's correct.
Unless it wasn't every time.
No, it was every time. And I've never seen them, listen, you can mix the truth with a lie, but I've never seen them get on the stand, left hand on the Bible, right hand swear to tell the truth, and lie.
So we're commingling lies with truth.
Sure.
So it's not straight out lies. You're saying that they misrepresented or they flat out lied.
I'm saying they lied.
So did you ever have yourself on a recording, for example, with an informant?
Oh, yeah,
And
83 times.
That memorialization of that recording, was that truthful or was that a lie?
Well, they couldn't use the 83 times that they had me on tape. They couldn't use it to indict me.
Was that one case?
Now, you know, everybody has their judgment about cops because there's so many cop shows out there.
What type of cop shows? Like cops?
Like, you know, Law and Order, SUV, Chicago PD.
So fake shows you talking about?
Yeah. They put them in, you know, in where I'm trying to get to. Do you think there's more good cops than bad cops, or there's more bad cops than good cops?
Bad cops and good cops.
Really?
100%.
Okay. That's just sad that that's probably true.
That was one case.
What about the other 4 cases?
Never on tape.
Never had a
That's
wiretap?
100%
Had wiretaps,
true.
but never able to use anything against me.
For indictment or during trial?
For indictment. They were never able to use those wires to implicate me in a crime.
Did you understand now, looking back on it, the federal rules for using informants with an FBI agent?
The federal rule?
The federal rules for
Explain it to me.
I will explain it to you. So everything we do with an informant has to be corroborated in some fashion. We're not just going to throw evidence based upon pure and simple testimony of an informant. If
Thank you,
that's
sir.
happening, then you're dealing with an amateur.
Let me tell you something.
You're welcome very much.
You're dealing with guys on the street
Sir.
who will do, many of them will do anything for me. And what
Oh,
you
I
need to
held
tell
that
me is
in a
that when
little
you're
bit.
paying this informant, you're not giving
Not
him
long
incentive
enough.
to lie. Let me tell you, let me back this up.
Oh, I started
was
talking
indicted,
and came up. That
for a
kind of,
huge fraud case in the gasoline business.
Rookie
My partner,
mistake.
okay, was with me. We created this scheme to defraud the government. He was a paid informant. They paid him $2.5 million of stolen gas tax money to be a witness against
Who did
me.
that case?
Feds, FBI.
FBI did the case.
Yes.
So that 2.5.
Yeah. Just think about how many movies there are that glamorizes mobsters. Because gangsters are cool. So many.
The lifestyle is cool.
$1 million was paid how? Was it through seizure?
They
Works on
didn't
that.
seize any money as far as, they didn't seize any money from me.
Okay.
They paid him $2.5 million.
And you were
of
not
money
convicted
was
on that
stolen.
case?
I took a plea.
Yeah, why'd you take a plea?
Long story, because I took a plea because I knew that my former life was falling apart. The RICO Act was devastating to many people. I had just beaten a RICO case brought on by Rudy Giuliani, and I knew that the life was in trouble.
Name
I had a
dropping.
14-agency task force assigned to bring me down, and I knew that I wasn't long for that life because I had such a target. I was arrested 18 times and had 7 indictments.
After all these cases, let me ask you, Michael, were you guilty of crimes?
Yeah,
Were
I
you
was guilty of crimes, yeah.
Okay.
So what does that have to do with it?
It has a lot
Was
to
I
do with
guilty
that.
of the crime, excuse me, was I guilty of the crime that they indicted me on? The one time that I took a plea, yes. The other 5 times, no. All right, we're going into a different area, but let's talk about the paid informants. In my experience, paid informants, and I'm going to this even pertains to my brother. I saw my brother get on the stand and testify against my father. My brother was a paid informant, and as I sat there and watched him, I know he lied. If my own brother will lie against his father, okay, which is a very extreme situation, I am telling you, okay, I know guys on the street. That's where I grew up. I know guys. You give them money, you give them incentive. And listen, it's a bad system. It's a bad system. I'm not saying you don't use
Shouldn't
informants.
be
I
able to
understand
pay
how to
them,
use
bro.
informants. But to pay informants, I can give you so many cases where guys are doing time because of paid informants because these guys get up there and lie. They have incentive to lie.
At your trial,
You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Thank you.
In my experience, paid informants are reliable. And I say that in a sense of everything we do in law enforcement, we have to check and verify. So when
Michael
an informant comes to
Franzelli.
us, we're not going and knocking down Francise's door and taking him away, right? There's a structure and things we have to follow in order to ensure
could
that the
kill it,
information
I'm
not only is,
good.
that's presented is accurate, but we also take into account why is he coming forward with this information. And you have to understand, we don't get to pick witnesses, right? You guys provide those for us. You know, an honest man is not going to come and say, hey, I'm a part of this family and we're doing wrong and I want to come forth. We're dealing with people who either have been shunned or voted out of the family or however that works, or they feel like they deserve the promotion, didn't get it. So we understand the intention that's coming in. However, the information they're providing, we have to take into account. And then a lot of times that information checks out and some things don't. And when they don't, we have a system in place, i.e. courts and laws and policies and regulations that kind of weeds that stuff out, right? If I take incomplete and lazy case to court, it may get thrown out. That not only puts a stain on me, that puts a stain on my department and everybody in this room who's taken an oath to protect and to serve.
Do you deal with organized crime?
Not where I'm at now. Paid informants I've dealt with on the street level to get local neighborhood guys and people who come from across states. That's where my limit lies. But that being said, in my experience, it's worked out.
All right, well, let me tell you this. You know, you just laid out the way it's supposed to be. You go back to New York and you deal with the feds and organized crime, you're in a whole different world. Okay? These paid informants don't come to you. Normally they get in trouble and they get put in a room and they say, you're facing life in prison on a racketeering act, or you want to sit down and talk with us, we'll give you money, we'll put you in the witness protection program, help us out. See what happened in my life? I'll tell you very simple. The fear of retaliation from our own people, from the boss. You screw up, you're going to get killed, you're going to get in trouble. Well, that fear was transferred to the government when the RICO Act came out, because now guys are going away for life, and they're getting whatever asset, if they had any assets, taken away. So now you stick them in a room and you say, hey, you're going to cooperate with us, you're going to wire yourself up, you're going to do what you got to do, we'll pay you money, because you don't have to worry about the guy you're talking about, we're putting him away for life. When you put that incentive in front of a paid informant, trust me, they're going to go along with you, and they'll get on the stand and they'll lie and they'll do whatever they have to do. And I will say this, I can tell you straight out, that the government knows that many of these informants are lying, and they don't care. As long as they win their case, they don't care.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that's you.
No, I'll have to disagree.
This is my experience.
I'll have to, and I can't negate your experience, but
you can disagree, but I'm telling you, I've been through it.
The bad apple doesn't define a bad orchard, okay? So how are these informants getting in the rooms? Again, we don't get to just... trouble. But we're not making people get in trouble. These informants are putting themselves in positions.
Absolutely.
And we're just providing... We're providing the avenue to be able to now be a part of that situation, right? Because the best way to get...
I think he really believes what he's saying.
Into that life
Those
is...
other people were lying.
We need someone on the inside to bring us in.
I understand that, but the point is...
He just looks dumb.
Is paying these guys, giving them incentive to lie, and it absolutely is. There's no question about it.
It can, but
100%.
given that checks and balances that the government has, the laws, if they are being paid to lie, our case gets thrown out if that's simply what's coming on.
It doesn't happen that way.
Absolutely. You said it yourself. It happened in your case. They got paid, they lied, and someone probably didn't present it to the best of their...
You want me to tell you about the other 100 guys that are doing time because of that? In my particular case, you know, they were weak cases. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, but you want me to tell you about the hundreds of other guys that are in jail because of lying paid informants?
So there was no merit. There was no merit.
I didn't say there was no merit. I said they're lying paid informants. Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
If these are great witnesses and they're there to tell the truth and just really, why do you have to pay them at all?
I'm not saying they're great witnesses.
I'm saying, why do you have to pay them at all? Why should they get paid if they're telling the truth and helping law enforcement?
Because you guys operate with money. You weaponize it. We use the same tactic because that's how people respond sometimes.
You don't
so
know.
you use that as a weapon, but not the other?
That have get paid.
Well, then that's good. Then they don't have that incentive, at least from being paid. But let me tell you something. In the mob life, we're not paying these guys. They're making their own money, and they're paying. Nobody hands anybody anything in that life. You got to be your own person.
But money rules a life, right? Or you wouldn't be doing it. The incentive is money. You weaponize
Lies.
money. Not you, but it's weaponized, and it's an incentive for them, right? Why do that? Because they're getting something in return. There's something that's been an opportunity provided to them.
But why do you have to pay them at all?
We don't have to. That's not the case for everything.
Why do you?
I can't speak on why they were paid in your case.
I know, but I can. They were paid because they were given incentive to become witnesses. They pay them, and that incentive makes them lie. Trust me on that.
But let's look at the bigger picture, right? Informants have gone a long way to help us with organized crime.
I agree with informants.
It's the paid informants.
It's just common sense to me. I don't know.
Every cop show, there's a paid informant that helps them solve the case. See, on the TV show.
Or they just lie.
Why do you have to pay them? Tell them they can understand, I want to clear my conscience, I want to do the right thing. Yeah, right, you're getting paid. You're not only getting paid, but you're going to do less time. You're going to cooperate with us. We'll put your family in a witness protection program. We'll give you money. Anything that you want, don't worry about it. And you tell me that's
either lie on their own or they get them to actually lie.
That's an incentive
it's a whole
for
different
truth.
thing.
Voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
How are we doing today?
We're good.
All right. From New York, right?
Yeah.
So we both know. Okay. I dealt with paid informants before throughout my career. My thing is this, both you and I know. You know, it's like Darwinism. It's survival of the fittest, you know. Who can survive in that world, all right? Both you and I know a CI is a CI is a CI is a CI. First thing I did when I dealt with a CI was hand him a gift, okay?
to let them know that my life's on the line, your life's on the line. We're both built into this together. But you already said it. You know. I don't think it's the paid part that's the issue. The issue, I think, what you're getting at is the system itself, and how the system operates. Paid informants, yeah, you know what? It all comes down to a person's personal freedom. If we're in the same family and we're dealing with the same issues, you know, you're no better than I am, I'm no better than you are. You know what? I want my freedom. I want to be able to enjoy my life. If I'm going to get paid in my freedom and I'm going to tell the truth, you know, what's wrong with that incentive?
If you're going to tell the truth. But it's the money that gives them incentive to lie also. Look, there's two things that they want. They want money and they want their freedom. I've seen so many guys get understand, oh, I changed my life and I'm okay, and, you know, the mob was bad to me and all of this. Listen,
How about
we take an oath. We take an oath. We know
give
exactly.
them money if they
exactly
tell the
know-
truth and help you, but don't let them know that there's an incentive of money at the end. And if they tell the truth, they tell the truth, then there's a reward. But they're saying, I'm giving you money. You know, we'll give you money if. And so they're like, oh, well, yeah, I know this, and that.
Yeah, it's always on the TV show.
Oh, yeah, and this too.
It's always a junkie dude or something that calls the cop and like, yo, I got some information.
It's super reliable.
Yeah.
Exactly what the
So they
penalties are. Look,
use-
I walked away from that life. I had a contract on my life. They wanted to kill me. But I understood. I violated my oath by walking away and talking about it. I can't get mad at them.
Yeah, that's what I was
did
thinking
what I
about.
said I wasn't going to do. I violated my oath.
Putting his
So
life
I
in danger
understand that.
now.
But some of these witnesses get on and say, oh, I'm a good person now, and they treated me wrong, and they didn't do this. And they're going to get up and they're going to lie, and they're going to do whatever the heck they have to do to save themselves. And they're going to keep it going as long as they could. They don't become choir boys when they become witnesses. They're the same guys that were on the street, lying and stealing and doing all of that. Now they're supposed to be good guys? Nonsense. There are a lot of good people in government. But there are a lot of people that will stretch the truth to get what the heck they want, and they'll use witnesses, and they'll pay them, and they'll do whatever they need to do. I've witnessed it my whole life. My father did 50 years.
It's common
on a crime he
sense.
didn't
These
commit. I'll
cops
take it to
know
my
it.
grave.
They
Every
just
one of the
ain't gonna
informants lied.
ever admit
We gave
it.
lie detector tests afterwards. Okay, proved they lied at the trial.
they'll be
They were paid
shunned
informants. They were all a
when
bunch
they
of
go
junkies.
home.
We can never get the conviction overturned. My dad did 40 on
Bunch
that
of
50 for a
junkies.
crime he didn't commit. Was he a mob guy? Yeah. Did he do other things? Yeah. But get him for what he did. Get the guy for what he did.
Pause, we're out of time on this claim. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Hey, thanks a lot. Thank you. Okay.
Who didn't get a chance?
You have a claim. I sure
She was already up there.
I
He
chose
just
Heather
wants
for
to
the final
fuck.
debate because I think she held her own in the discussion that we had. You didn't win, but you held your own.
I mean, that's debatable, right? It's just like everything today. My surrounded claim is that the mafia culture glorifies or promotes men to be successful only through fear and intimidation.
Okay. So what you're saying is that men that were involved in the mafia
Oh,
are really not
shit.
smart.
The mafia
they really
promotes
don't
men
know
to be
anything
successful.
but
They
fear,
take care of
and that's how they
No.
earn money. That's how they become
Mostly,
successful
I
within
would
that
say,
life.
but not
if you take
only.
the element of fear away, we're all a bunch of dummies.
That's absolutely not what I said.
Okay.
What I said is that your power is legitimized through intimidation and fear. And that if you took those away, you wouldn't actually have the so-called respect that you think that you have, right? Earlier you were talking about
Yeah,
punching
there's
all these
fears
things. Mafia
through
does the same
it.
thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
intimidation
John Gotti
and fear.
right? He killed Castellano, right? So it's all about the actions that you're taking to get there. It's through fear and intimidation. I'm not saying that you're not smart.
Yeah,
No
they're
part
like
of my
both.
statement said that any of you were dumb at all. I just think and I'm probably going
Damn, you're
to
on
have to hear
fuck
about this if
your
someone takes this the wrong way.
establishment up.
Hitler, right? The way he led was fear, intimidation, pulling people in, and then they didn't know if they were coming in to meet him, whether or not they were going to get killed or whether or not they were going to get like a pat on the back. So what I'm saying is that it's not about servant leadership when it comes to the mafia. It's not about the leadership components.
Like a Bronx Tale, where he tells them, I'd rather be feared than loved because the fear lasts longer.
Yeah. It's what? Cause, reaction, solution. You get money. You pay the street thugs and kids to rob all the stores in the neighborhood all the time for a couple months. Then you go with your guys and offer protection for the place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That we as law enforcement should be pushing
That's
for
the
right now,
oldest
which
play
is
in the
that
book.
human aspect,
Yeah.
the
The government
humility
uses it
behind leadership.
over
It's
and
about fear and
over
intimidation
and
when it comes to
over
the
on
mafia.
us.
Don't you think that fear plays an element in almost any walk of life? If you're in government, if you make a mistake, well, the fear is that you can lose your job. If you're in corporate America, you make a mistake, the fear is you can lose your job. And when you get to the mob, well, it's a little bit more serious because the consequences are more severe, because there is this big aura about the mafia that you don't do the right thing, you're going to get killed. Okay, is that always so? Of course not. It's not the case at all. There are plenty of people in that life that never had to resort to fear or intimidation to get their way. Never. So even though it's an element of that life, I think it's very wrong to say that if it wasn't for the element of fear, there wouldn't be success in that life.
But as far as that's concerned, if you didn't have the fear and you didn't have that intimidation, how do you keep your power within the mafia?
Well,
money.
When you say keep your power within that life?
I mean, you guys run a hierarchy just like we do.
Yeah, well, it's very simple because we all take an oath and we hold each other to a high standard.
And it's family.
And that oath is that we realize that there are certain consequences we can pay if we violate the oath. And so the fear is a little bit more intense in that.
It's like the army.
We agree to it. But it's
no
not
one
always fear
soldier's
that makes
going to
people
really
rise in the ranks.
attack
There's a guy by the name of
another
Roy
one.
DeMeo.
Because
Okay, he was a
the rest of them
serial
will
killer.
attack
Roy DeMeo
the
was
one
a
who
serial
starts the
killer, whether he
attack.
was in the mafia or not. Mafia just gave him easier access, let's say.
You want to go against your whole army?
And there was a certain amount of fear about that guy because he was a madman. But that didn't help him rise in the ranks. He ended up getting killed as a result of that. You know, so sometimes when people fear you, it could work against you. In his case, it did. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. You know, I stayed in line because I realized if I made a mistake, I could pay for it in a severe way. So it does keep us in line in a certain way. Like I say, the consequences are more severe. But fear is an element of almost every organization or every life.
Fear is an internal element, but it can also be an external element as far as leadership is concerned. And when it comes to the hierarchy and keeping that and making sure there aren't corroborating witnesses or confidential informants that come through or people that turn around and they take a plea deal and then they have a contract put in their head, that's that fear component that we don't utilize in law enforcement, shouldn't use in law enforcement. When you say that, shouldn't use in law enforcement. So for you, that fear component was very real. That intimidation of you leaving the life was there, was it not?
But I left.
You did. And for how long were you in fear of your life?
Well, let's put it this way. I knew that there could be consequences that I could face, but I also knew the life very well. So I knew what I had to do to protect myself. So I didn't live in fear. I honestly didn't. I didn't sell my former associates short. I knew what they were capable of, but I also felt that I can, you know, do my best to avoid that. But I think what you're saying is that's one of the main reasons why we succeed in that life, because of fear. And I disagree with that.
Why do you disagree with it though?
Because it's not true.
But you just said it was. You just said that there was fear. Just because you didn't have fear, fear and intimidation was used in order to keep you in line. Because if you walked in a room, you might not walk out.
If you did something wrong.
But that,
If you violated the oath, yes. But in order to succeed in that life, and you're not violating the oath, it wasn't fear that allowed me to succeed in that
There's
life.
fear in
It was
everything,
having an
though.
understanding of the
And
life,
that's what
knowing how to
you're
use
saying.
that life to benefit me in business and where I had my success. So fear didn't cause me to be a good mob guy.
But do you think the head boss used fear and intimidation more than anything else?
He didn't use it against me. I just knew that it was there.
I didn't mean just against you. I meant the mafia culture as a whole.
Yes, it's an element of fear in that life, like there is in other lives, except that the consequences are more severe. But what
Well, they
I'm
call
saying
it the
is,
same
fear
thing
doesn't
at
cause
work.
you to be a success
You'll be
in life.
terminated.
It's to me, it's
That sounds like
understanding
you're
the
gonna
life,
kill
knowing
me.
how to
What?
use it to benefit you.
Oh, you
in
just
whatever it is
fired
you're
me?
trying to do.
Oh.
Oh yeah. You've been terminated. That's not cool.
86.
No, that's even worse.
But I will
That's
tell you
he
this,
used fire.
you know, when I walked into a room sometimes to negotiate with somebody, well, that aura was there. I didn't have to say anything. They knew who I was. They knew what I represented. So maybe the fear was from the other side. You know, I better watch what I say here. Stuff like that, yeah.
So there's a bit of an intimidation factor when you walked into the room
In
because of
certain
your
cases,
reputation,
yes.
the way you held yourself. So fear and intimidation are the basis of some of the leadership and the culture.
No, the
that
way he
is
held
mafia.
himself is just
It's
natural
not the
fear if
primary
someone's afraid of
driving
you or
force,
not.
But yes, it is an element, and some people do use that, yes.
Some people are
That's
just
my point.
afraid of other big
Sounds like you
people
agree with me.
because they're big.
Well, I agree in part.
I'll take that.
I
I'll
agree in
take
part.
that.
I
Yeah.
agree in
I mean,
part.
listen, intimidation is something, and you said it about the fear, right? You can be intimidating, but you can intimidate others. It doesn't mean you're intimidating. It's that aura that you walk into the room with.
Listen, the smart bosses in that life, they knew that violence and fear was destructive. You know, let me tell you something. I had a discussion with Chaz Palminteri. He wrote the movie Bronx Tale. He's a good friend of mine. And in the movie Bronx Tale, he's asked the question by Little Cologio, is it better to be feared or loved?
Oh,
And he
I
said it's
just
better
say.
to be feared in my position. And I had that discussion with Chaz afterwards. I said, Chaz, you're not a member of the mob, but you were around guys. What do you think? He said, oh, Michael, it's better to be feared. I said, you're wrong. He says, why? I said, I'll tell you why. He said, when the government came out with the Racketeering Act, and people knew that they can go away forever, lose all their assets and everything else, well, the fear of the mob, okay, was transferred to the fear of the
Transfer
government.
over, he said that
because
already,
the
too.
government now held all the power. And so many guys became informants. Many guys became informants because of that. So fear is not a great element. It's really not. It's more destructive than anything else. It can hold you in line for a part unless it gets transferred somewhere else. But love, you're not going to hurt somebody you love.
I've seen a lot of people hurt people that they love.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean. Come on, not to a level where you, all right, I surrender on that one. I surrender. You got me on that one. I surrender. Yeah, I mean, okay, but you know what I mean. Not to a level where you're gonna want to destroy them. I think.
No, you can't say that because you truly won't hurt someone you love. So if you do something somebody fucked up, then you ain't love that person.
So much.
Oh, absolutely.
Just on different perspectives, right? When we walk into a room on a call, we have a level of fear and we go anyway. The same
you
as
know what? I should have said that. You're absolutely right. Who doesn't get scared when they see a police officer most of the time?
Yeah.
So look at the element of fear that you use.
But is that something that we use on purpose, or is that a?
It's the aura.
Yes, on
it's there.
purpose.
It's the uniform.
It's a
You're the police.
built-in
You can arrest
fear.
me. You can lock me up. You can hurt me. You can shoot me.
It's
It's not built in. I'm not. I would never have been scared of the cops until I found out that they'd be beating people for no reason and fucking talking about.
It's a shame. I don't agree.
The cops were good guys to me my whole life until I found out they'll harass you for no reason. If you give them an attitude, they turn into this personal thing. They're supposed to be a robot.
In my opinion, right? Is I.
They're supposed to be an officer of the law.
Have a fear of police. They were there as the heroes.
No feelings, no matter your attitude. They're supposed to just act normal and say, "No, all right, ma'am, I just need this, sir. Just give me your license."
That's the parent
Not,
instilling that fear in
"Oh,
the
shut
child
the
about
fuck
who
up.
they are. And I think the same has been said about
I speak when spoken to.
Right? After
You
sitting
know,
here and
act
hearing you
like
all day,
you're a
like
child.
I feel like you and I could be best friends, because, right? But I'm not scared of you. I'm not. There isn't a fear element on my end when it comes to you. But I do believe that the leadership style within the culture of the mafia is something based on fear and intimidation. I don't believe those are the only elements, but I do believe historically that's where it came from.
There's an element of fear in almost every walk of life.
Yeah.
And again, it's accentuated in the mob life. I will agree with that. But what I disagree with is it's that fear that
Just
made
fucking
life-
up.
There's a lot of guys in
Not
that life that
fucking
if they
up,
chose
like,
to go in the legitimate world, that would have been brilliant.
Going against the
Very
family
Trust me. You know, no other organization
is
has thrived like we
like
had during that. And I'm not bragging. I'm not
what they're
glorifying.
supposed to
I'm telling
fear.
the truth. You know,
In the
under
movies,
very
it's always
serious
some
conditions,
weird
the ones that
torture that
succeed,
happens because
they
they
get
went
the
again. They were stealing from their side of the family. You know what I'm saying? You can't steal from your gang, from your people. That's when you get your eye popped in the vice and shit like that, right?
They get walked into a
But if you're
garage
just
and
doing
whacked.
good, like,
Or when they go pick up, we're going for a ride and they put you in the front seat. You know, you're getting yoked up.
well, that means you were doing something grimy. And that's when you should get fucked up. But if you just had made a mistake, I guess don't make a mistake so big that it looks like you were stealing.
Yeah,
That's all.
don't steal.
Well, no, you could make a mistake and it look like you're stealing, but really you got robbed or something. And they just don't believe you.
Yeah, that's true.
That could happen. So
Yeah.
just don't fuck up and don't
Get robbed.
double cross. Well, the rob is the fucked up. The fuck up. Don't fuck up. And don't double
Peace out,
cross your
people.
people.
That's the end of that.
Deuce. I think he was right and
See ya
won
when
every
we see
single
ya.
one of those conversations. What do you think? Don't just end it.
Yeah, me
Let's
too.
Talk
I'm
about
going
it.
with the mob. Yeah, I'm going with the mob boss.
All right.
Definitely. I don't know why he picked her. I guess she was a good debater.
He wants them tits. That's why.
I don't know. I just think he could.
There was what, 2 girls?
I think he saw her as weak and picked her.
I would have picked her out of from that girl or that lady, right? It's only 2 chicks. Why pick a dude?
He didn't want to argue with any.
You'd
of
have picked a
dudes.
dude like I'd have picked a chick like I pick a chick on Fortnite. All right, you out here picking dudes. I want to talk to a man again.
No, no,
A man again?
I don't want to talk to another one of them.
A mannequin? All right.
Chick, she did a good job.
Yeah, she was all right. She was good. She all tatted up.
And she looked like she undercover cop. But still.
A junk cop?
Undercover.
Under the covers. That's where
Fuck.
he's trying to go. He reminds me of Billy Bob Thornton.
I just don't.
Look at him.
He's out there talking a lot.
Little Billy Bob ass. He said he's friends with Chaz, so I bet you he has a podcast with Chaz Palminteri. Put Chaz Palminteri in the YouTube search. Oh, you son of a Chaz Palminteri. Michael Franzese. Watch there. Right there. Go down. Oh, it's right there too.
Right here?
Yeah. I didn't even see it.
Oh yeah, that's him, isn't it?
He's got his own pod.
Oh, okay. No,
wait, keep going down. Oh, wait, you know what? Click his little channel picture.
Click
His
this
little-
one?
Yeah. Go down. Does he always have Chaz on with him? Go to. No, he's got all types of. Suge Knight. Rudy Giuliani. He had Rudy Giuliani
damn,
on?
we might have to start watching some of these.
So why'd you
There's,
fucking try to indict me?
197,000 views. 2.4 million. Oh, we might have to.
Yeah, somebody was picking on all these fucking fake mobsters trying to have podcasts now.
Suge Knight?
They're obviously talking about this guy.
Oh, we'll have to check them out and judge them. We'll be judgy.
And somebody the Bull? Or that worked for the Bull?
Sammy the Bull?
Maybe it's this guy who says he worked for him. But if not, there's another guy that's on YouTube telling stories and shit.
Twin trip from.
And they blowing up, so whatever. Society is letting them be rich again.
Okay, now people. That was our opinion on the
Deuces!
mob laws. Peace out.
Deuce.
I can't find the stop recording button.
Do you want to know? Are you sure you want to know? Huh? Because the truth ain't always what it seems to be. Let's get to the truth with SYXX and Soup. It's time to reorganize, rethink and regroup, reanalyze, see through the lies and reboot. Boots on the ground, it's going down for a redo. We gotta get connected, stop accepting what they telling, because what they selling ain't nothing but deception. It's time for the people to run an interception. It's time to understand, togetherness is the weapon. Anything less than that is just half-stepping. Open your third eye, receive this message. Community is unity. That's the blessing. Do you really want to get to the truth? That's the question.